For this recipe, I want to show you how to make Scotch eggs, but with a real twist. So using my favourite real olive flavour, which is Verde, it's got wild garlic and basil with it. We're going to turn a Scotch egg into a Middle Eastern, almost like a falafel around the outside, and then just coat it in some breadcrumbs with a bit of za'atar for flavour. So what you're going to need is a pot of these and a few other bits and bobs. We're going to make the mix first. I've already boiled some eggs and peeled them. In my family, we're split between people who like a runny centre and a hard, so I've done both. But you've got some eggs that are all peeled, a little bit of oil heating up as well, ready to fry these off. What I've then got here is some chickpeas, 1 tin of chickpeas, pot of olives and some preserved lemon. So we're going to blitz that into a coarse paste. So I'm just popping that into a food processor, along with some dried spices, which you can toast off first. I've got sumac, cinnamon, some cumin seeds and some rose petals, and a little bit of shawarma spice. All of that's going in here, followed by some tahini for that sort of extra rich, oily, creamy flavour, and a little bit of chilli. So I've just got some chilli flakes. This recipe for me is a real taste of travel. It's a great exotic kind of thing to try at home. I've got some roasted sweet potato as well into the food processor with that. That's just been cooked in the oven for 25 minutes with a bit of oil. And then finally some grains. You could use couscous, bulgur wheat, got some pearl barley and a little bit of mint. In that goes. This recipe is very much a flexible way of using olives to create a wonderful vegetarian twist. You could form them into falafel, but I'm here going for a Scotch egg. So on we go, blitzing it rather than whizzing it too smooth, because I want to have a bit of texture. I'm going to do it now, just use a spatula, take down the edges. It smells fantastic. It's really colourful, really fresh, and a dead easy thing to try at home. A little bit longer on that. You're looking for, yeah, a minced sausage texture. I think that's good for me. So in here, we've got, as you can see, a gorgeous mixture. Really nice and aromatic, spicy. Pop that into a bowl and get your oil to about 180 degrees. Now, you don't want it too cool and not hot enough, because otherwise what can happen is your Scotch egg will absorb all of that oil and sort of become quite greasy rather than cooking. So oil at 180 degrees, pop that back on. We've got our mix here. The next bit gets a bit fiddly. You're going to basically be wrapping it around your egg. This is gram flour that we're going to use to pane the Scotch eggs. To pane basically means to coat in a little bit of flour, followed by egg and breadcrumb. We've got an egg. I'm going to show you with one, and then I'm going to get on and make the rest. So you've got your egg. What you want to do then is grab a handful of this wonderful olive chickpea mixture and start wrapping up the egg. And if you've got a hole, just patch it. It really is a rustic Scotch egg. I should have started with that at the beginning. This is very much home cooking, but full of flavour, and a really great way of bringing that sort of Middle Eastern, or you could go Mediterranean with sun-dried tomatoes in with your olive and some fresh herbs. So there we've got it. That's your Scotch egg. Roll it in a bit of flour. And gram flour is made from chickpeas, so it's sort of tying in with all of these nice flavours. Beaten egg next. Lovely rich free-range eggs here, so you can tell by the colour. And in here I've got the panko breadcrumbs with a little bit of za'atar. I'm going to thoroughly coat it. Allow some of that excess egg just to drain off, and then straight into the breadcrumb. At this point I've just got to wash my hands quickly, because I really don't like having messy fingers when I'm doing this next stage. I'm a bit of a stickler for that. So just cover the whole Scotch egg now with this really lovely breadcrumb. And you could double pané these if you want an extra crispy coating. You could also try using some sunflower seeds on the outside. And there you have a Scotch egg ready to go into hot oil. So I'm going to lower it in. Cook it now until golden, so about 4 minutes, until it's completely golden brown, and it's still going to have that lovely runny yolk in the middle. And then I'm going to serve this as a picnic. Perfect olivey vegetarian snack.